Hey Gemini, Dark Dove Tarot here. Hope you're doing fantastic. This is your February 2020 read. So you know I pre-shuffle, but I like to add a little more energy before we get started. All right, so this is for Gemini, February 2020. This is about love, generally about you and them, people you're with, maybe not talking to, maybe not with, etc. So let's see what's going on for Gemini 2020. General read, so keep that in mind. You always want to, this is general for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, but you always want to check your other signs as well, as you may get a little more clarity. You may get more parts to your story. You get my point. All right, so let's see what is going on for Gemini February 2020. Any likes, subscribes, comments are greatly appreciated. If you want a private read, the information is in the description below. All right, I'm also going to be adding the decks that I use because I'm not very great about saying it, and the people who create these decks, illustrate them, and whatnot deserve props. So I'm going to start putting that in my About page so that you guys can find that information if you're interested in the decks I'm using, because they're amazing. The 10 card spread, I'll go ahead and say the 10 card spread is the Deviant Moon Tarot deck. My theme of the month is the Illuminating the Prophecy. The clarifying decks are the Coin Tattoo Tarot, the Nicoletti Coccoli, and the Sun and Moon Tarot. And then the two oracle cards are the Witchwood Tarot and the Pixiekin. So just throwing that out there. Next time I'll make sure that they are listed on my channel so you guys can find them there. All right, I, for whatever reason, was instructed to do 2 theme of the months. I don't know why, but that's just what came across when I started doing the reads, so that's what we're doing. So, Gemini, let's see what your 2 theme of the month cards are, and then we'll get started here. First, you have strength, so the obvious of that is strength, right? This is also about patience and self-belief. So I feel like you're in a situation that you're possibly needing strength, obviously, but also self-belief in whichever decision you've made or whatever direction you're going to go, that you're making the right decision, or that you feel confident in that decision, in, you know, whatever you decide or whatever you've been through, whether you're, you know, keeping a situation open, closing a situation off, you're confident in your decision. The strength card is also Leo's card, so you could be dealing with a Leo or have Leo placements in your chart. Now, you have the Knight of Cups next, which is romance. This is whimsy. This is dreaming. This is kind of, you know, a hopefulness. Now, this is something that could be, you know, either what you're looking for, you're hoping for that Knight of Cup energy, you know, the true romantic, you know, somebody who actually comes in and fights for what they want, or actually puts the work in. I feel like that's more along the lines of what you're looking for, whether it's new or old. The Knight of Cups is telling me you're wanting somebody who actually puts the effort into it, who actually doesn't just show up, because in a lot of readings this month, it's been about people who just kind of show up and they want, like, oh, I showed up, and so they want a trophy or a cookie. That seems to be a theme for a lot of people. And this is right here, the Knight of Cups is telling me that you're kind of like, no, I want somebody who shows up and puts the effort into it. Don't we all? But the Knight of Cups is kind of like, this is kind of like your standard. You're not going to lower that standard. I hope that makes sense. The next card you have is the Queen of Swords. Well, that makes perfect sense going along with this, because again, like I said, this is strength, patience, self-belief going along with the Knight of Cups. What I deserve. I want somebody who puts the effort in. I want somebody who's attentive. The Queen of Swords is somebody who's learned their lesson, very wise, but also very honest, very insightful, but can be very critical. So I feel like, Gemini, this is you saying, hey, you know, if this is a past person or a new person, I like you. If it's a past person, I'm very strong connection with you. I miss you. I care about you. But hell no, I'm not going back to the way things were. I'm not going to tolerate certain behaviors. I'm not going to, you know, be put down, cheated on, pushed around, lied to, whatever it is. The Queen of Swords is saying, no, I'm here to tell you like it is. And if you don't like it, oh well, I'll move on. I feel like a lot of signs, but especially Gemini this month, are very, you know, your dual personality type is coming out where you just are kind of like, I don't really care. Like, I would love to meet somebody, or if we could make things work, fantastic. But at the same time, I'm not worried about it. It's not my main goal. It's not my main focus. But if you do want in my life, I may have some things to say about it because I've learned from my mistakes. I've learned from, repetitive patterns, and I'm breaking the cycle. I'm not going to repeat these patterns anymore. The next card you have is how you're feeling coming into the month, and you have the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles is balance, priorities, it's change, it's making sure that you're balanced and that you have your priorities in check. And I think that's the thing why I said the dual coming out, especially with Gemini being the dual, is that the Two of Pentacles is saying that you're finally getting the balance you need and want. You are making sure that your life stays steady regardless of the ins and out of a past person, or regardless of if you're looking for somebody new. The Two of Pentacles is definitely saying my main priorities are kept in check, my balance is kept in check, and if anything throws that off, then the Queen will cut them out, and they will no longer have a place in my energy or my headspace. Because the Two of Pentacles is saying my kids, my family, my fur babies, my home, my work, those are the ground, the foundation of what I'm building on. And if somebody comes in and they can add to that and we can grow together, great. But if somebody comes in and they throw that off balance, then they no longer deserve to have any space in my life at this point. The next card you have is your distant past. So over the past 5-10 years, it could be throughout your childhood. And you have the Wheel of Fortune. So the universe is telling you big things are coming, Gemini. Big things are coming. The Wheel of Fortune is unplanned changes, divine timing, something that you have no control over. The universe presents this, and there you go. You're on your way. Either something old is coming back, just circling around, or coming back, or something new is coming in, and you won't even think about the past ever again. The Wheel of Fortune, like I said, is an unplanned change. It moves fast. It's something that is meant to be, again, a divine timing, something that is almost a surprise. You may or may not be prepared for this. You may see it coming, or you may not see it coming, but the wheel is in control. And this is kind of like, even if there's any confusion, even if you're not sure, even if you're like, why universe, why would this be the direction I'm going, there's a plan, there's a something coming, that this will make sense, that this will coincide with the next cycle in your life. The next card you have is your immediate past. So over the past few weeks, past month or two, and you have the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is still looking for some sort of truth, still searching, still learning, still seeking. So I feel like a lot of you, maybe if there's this past person, you don't have closure, you're not communicating, they're not talking to you, you're not talking to them. You may be wondering why, they may be wondering why, you both may be wondering why. I feel like, again, there's a lack of closure here because you're going, well, what is the truth? Now, I also feel like for some of you, they came back in and they communicated, or they're going to, and that's when you're going to have the conversations, kind of like the Queen. Like, well, okay, this is your third time coming back around. What is it you want? Like, really, what the fuck do you want from me? Because I feel like this person comes in and they're not quite sure what they want, or they're not sure if you want what they want, so they're not going to be completely open with what they want because they're playing the whole, well, I don't want to put myself out there because I don't want to get hurt, which in reality, if they don't, then they're not going to get what they want from Gemini, because Gemini is very tight-lipped this month in going, you tell me what it is you want, you tell me what it is you're looking for from me, and then we can see if that's something that we can achieve together or not. The next card you have is your distant future. So over the next few weeks, next month or two, and you have the Three of Wands. Now, the Three of Wands is partnership, planning, growth. This is two people planning and making waves together. I feel like this is a possibility that a past person can come in if they can handle the thrashing of the Queen. And I say that in the nicest way. It's not like you're going to come out and be rude and nasty and treat somebody horribly, but it is very much they're not going to get by with just a pat on the hand. They're not going to get by with just a little point on the nose, like no. This is more like you have to face reality and what's going on and what has happened here. And if I feel satisfied that it's something we can move on together and we can make happen, great. And if not, then no. You've got this Knight of Cups again with that romance and that feeling like making momentum and feeling and riding in that whimsy, but you're not careless about it. You're not naive about it. You're like, if it's there, great. And if we can make it happen, great. But I'm not forcing it and I'm not buying into it. That's the thing. If there's any type of manipulation or something that doesn't feel right behind it, then you won't. But the Three of Wands is um, very forthcoming and feels very positive in this aspect because, again, it's about partnership and growth and about planning. It's about two people. Had this been the Two of Wands, this would have been, you need to kind of figure out where you're going and then somebody else can come along for the ride. The Three of Wands tells me you're looking to partner and plan with somebody and make a life with somebody, whether it's past or present. I feel like this person may be cycling back through a Gemini and they may actually surprise you. For whatever reason, they're telling me surprise. Now, then contradicting here for the next few weeks throughout February is the Ace of Pentacles. Now, not necessarily contradicting, but this is newness. This is new beginnings. This is opportunity. This is potential prosperity. You could have this with this past person. It may just be that you haven't talked to this person in a long, long time. You guys haven't communicated at all. What's interesting is they're telling me jumpstart. It's almost as if you guys haven't communicated, or if you do communicate, it's very solemn. Not there's nothing. There's no substance behind it. Okay, but for whatever reason, if they come back around now, it's like divine timing, kind of going along with the Wheel of Fortune. There will be substance behind it. There will be a prosperous aspect behind it. There will be opportunity behind it. Now, this could be somebody completely brand new. The Ace of Pentacles is new in a lot of different things: finance, career, all of the above. I love the Ace of Pentacles because it means there's a plethora of opportunities out there for you. However, for a lot of you, I feel like it is a past person who may be coming in a completely different light, or maybe for the first time ever, they're listening to what the Queen actually has to say when she or he, I don't apply sex to the cards, is being critical. Again, not that you're being nasty or rude or anything like that, but you're being honest, and for the first time ever, this person might actually be listening. I think more the reason the past is coming back, um, versus a new person, although it can be both. Because of the Wheel of Fortune, like, it comes back, and now is actually that time for you to accept and receive, and for them to understand what it is to make this relationship work. But also because you have the Three of Wands, and the Three of Wands, I feel it comes after dating and then becoming exclusive and this, that, and the other. This feels like it's going to move a little faster, which would tell me it's either with somebody that is new that you're jumping the gun immediately with, which is nothing wrong with that. Sometimes when things are meant to happen, they move extremely fast. But I feel like this is more along the lines of somebody you already know. So there's that foundation or that groundwork that's already been set. The next card you have is the High Priestess. Now, the High Priestess is get out of my way and let the universe work, right? The universe has your back. The High Priestess is about spirituality and understanding that there's a higher power, understanding that there is something out there, also helping to guide you in the direction that you need to go. It goes very swimmingly with the Wheel of Fortune because, again, these are things that you don't have control. The High Priestess is very calm, very patient. There's no rush here, but it's also like, there's no pushing around. The High Priestess is kind of in control here. Now, I would say that's you in control of this other person, but that's not it at all. This is you kind of accepting what's in front of you and this other person the same. The High Priestess is kind of here to guide, and again, it's not anything that you can say, well, no. It's kind of like, all right, well, you may or may not like it, but it's coming either way. You may have reservations about it. You may have, doubts about it, but something is coming to show you, what direction is the right direction for you. The next card you have is how you're feeling throughout the month. Could be the beginning, middle, end. Again, last for a day. You have the Justice card, which has been showing up a lot, which is Libra's card. So you could have Libra placements in your chart, or you could be dealing with a Libra. But the Justice card is also about marriage. And it's been coming up for a lot of people. Justice usually represents, the cause and effect. Like, something happens and there's an effect. So you cheat, I leave you. You lie, I leave you. I lie, you leave me, whatever it is, you get my point. But the Justice card here, to me, feels more like marriage. Most of the reads I've been having, it feels more like there's a cause and effect. Now, of course, there's a cause and effect here. If they come back and they seem to actually give a shit, and they seem to not have any manipulation behind it, and again, cross watchers, don't get mad. This can be reversed, so it can be for you and not the sign I'm reading for, but I do read the cards for the sign I'm reading for. This can be, that all of a sudden things are changing and you're like, wow, if they come back in and I can get the truth and I can get, and they come back, and not that you need the romance necessarily, but some of you do need that passion. You do need to see that they care, because a lot of people I've noticed show up, and I've been saying this in a lot of reads because it's been a very common theme. People show up and they feel like, well, if I text him or her, hey, how are you? Well, then they know that I like them, that I want to get back together, that I'm missing them. That no, there's no substance behind that. I don't know when we've gotten to this, to be to this point where if I text you, hey, how's it going? Or hey, I'm thinking about you, that tells you I'm sorry for what I've done, or I'm sorry for my behavior, or I miss you, I want to see you, I want to work things out. There's no substance behind, a one-line text. And so Justice here tells me that as well, that you may see new actions that you've never seen before, which cause you to react in a way of actually maybe wanting to reconnect with this person. But for some reason right here, Justice is marriage. Either you were married to this person, you thought you were going to get married to this person, marriage is something you want with this person, or, with somebody new. Could even be that divorce is on the table and now that's not so much on the table. The next card you have is your hopes and fears for the outcome. Well, the Three of Cups is celebration. It's getting out there. It's, excitement. It's, but it's also meeting new friends. So I feel like for some of you, it's very interesting. I feel like you're going to be getting out there, or you have been getting out there to kind of meet some new, but these are going to be more like friends or meetup groups, or you go to like a friend's birthday party or something like that, or you join a bowling league, or whatever it is for you. I don't feel like this is a substantial, like I'm getting out there and meeting the one, because again, these are more of a friendship vibes. The Three of Cups is, like a gathering of people, and it's joyous and having fun and celebrating. It's not necessarily I'm meeting the one or anything like that. Although from this picture it could be kind of scandalous, but trust me, that's not. The Three of Cups can actually be very heartwarming and very innocent. The next card you have is the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is anxiety, can be depression, but again, this is internal. So your outcome is that I feel like for you guys, because there is such a big possibility of reconciliation, or at least a conversation, or a restart to a certain extent between you and this person. I feel like this Nine of Swords is saying, this is more of a fear, an illusion, a paranoia of something that hasn't happened. Man, Virgo, they got the Nine of Swords 3 times, so they've got a lot of worries and things going on. But for you guys, this feels more like, is this the right decision to talk to this person? Is it the right decision to even have a conversation with them? Is it the right decision to even allow them back into my life? So the Nine of Swords is just kind of a self-doubt, having anxiety about the unknown. And that's exactly what it is. It is the unknown. It's worrying about something that hasn't happened, that may never happen, and being paranoid about that, or being worried about that. And there you go. See, so if for whatever reason, the universe is kind of encouraging you to move in the direction of the old, the past, because you have the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is one of my biggest reconciliation cards, because it's nostalgia. It's looking back. It's looking at the good times. It's missing somebody, and missing somebody a lot. So the Six of Cups says that this person still truly holds a bond with you, still truly holds love for you. And you know this, Gemini. You guys have a connection that may last a lifetime. A connection that you thought at one point would last a lifetime. And maybe you guys recant this, and it does, even though recant means take back, which was probably the wrong word to say. But like, even though you guys literally thought, there's no way this could ever happen, and you're nervous about it, maybe the celebration is that you guys might actually freaking figure this out. Because then you have the Ten of Cups here, which is joy, peace, family, all of the above coming together. And again, this is lasting. This isn't just coming in for a minute. This isn't just a one-line text. This is something much deeper than that. This is something with more substance behind it. Something that has a lot more to give than just the, hey, how you doing? This is somebody who may come in, Gemini, actually putting in the effort. Now, if not, you do still have the newness here, but for a lot of you, this is definitely somebody coming in from the past, especially with that Six of Cups, because the Six of Cups, like I said, is definitely reconnecting with somebody from the past. Again, a nostalgic energy. Okay. Then your next card here, though, is the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords has something to say. So again, going along with the Queen of Swords, the only way you guys can get back to something fresh, or the only way that you guys can get through the muck and into something, a regrowth or a rebirth, if you will, is to get through the nitty gritty, is to have the conversation. Because the Knight of Swords is somebody who is like, very confrontational, very hostile. And I'm not saying that's how you're going to be, but I do feel like you have some things to get off your chest. I do very much feel like you're going to be like, if you want back in my life, this is like no bullshit. Again, how you came in with the Queen of Swords, same thing. Very honest, very trustworthy. You know, the Queen of Swords has a nurturing aspect, but also it cuts through the BS. It cuts through it quick. And then you have the Star card here. The Star card is beautiful. It's the Star card. It's hope. It's inspiration. It's faith. It's the one and only. Very interesting to say the one and only, because I feel like this is somebody that you've, I don't know, known in your gut for a long time is your person, or you've known in your gut for a long time that marriage was something you wanted, or you were married and you knew it was something that you didn't want to end. It's something you wanted to work on. There's definitely a lot of, there you go. There is definitely a lot of coming together in a very good way. In fact, you guys, besides one other, maybe it was Libra, are one of the only other signs that has had a very clear cut, this past may actually be relevant to you now. This past may actually be, you know, love conquers all, or we can make this happen. Because then you have the Two of Swords, which is making a choice, but making a choice towards peace. And if this is peace to you, then go that direction. If you have too much anger and it's not good for you, and it's hostile and you feel like confronting them, and it's a fight after fight after fight, then take the new route. But in the end, you get 10 of Cups either way, and you have 2 10s here. So maybe you see 10-10 a lot. Maybe 10 is a number for you. But I mean, satiety in 10 of Cups. I always say this. Okay, I always say this. In fact, Alexa, what is satiety?
Television is a telecommunication.
Okay, yeah, Alexa didn't get that. Never mind. But satiety, I'm going to have to look that up, because I'm actually pretty smart. Alexa, stop. I'm actually pretty smart, you know, human being. I like to think that way anyways. But the 10 of Cups is joy, peace, family, happiness, arresting. So, I mean, legitimately, I'm going to read it that way, as I've always read the 10 of Cups. Okay. Satiety is the feeling of being sated. So satisfaction, sufficiency. So I looked it up because I feel ridiculous saying it and not truly knowing the definition. The definition of the 10 of Cups is joy, peace, family. Satiety, now that I know, makes perfect sense. It's satisfaction, feeling in a belonging situation, feeling complete, or feeling together with somebody. So Gemini, literally, you guys have had one of the best reconciliation reads. Some of you are going to be mad about it, and you're going to get on my comments, and you're going to be like, screw this. I don't want, never again. I'll never hear from them. I never want to talk to them again. I never want to think about them again. You are watching a read basically on reconciliation. So a singles read, or maybe, you know, a different type of read may be better suited for you. But I'm not going to lie, Gemini. All things are pointing reconciliation at this point. Okay, now you have the bell. Warning. All right, so I think this goes along with this card right here, the Two of Swords, and I'll tell you why. Like I said before, you have the reconciliation, the Six of Cups, and then you have the Knight of Swords here, okay, which is the hostility, confrontation, and then the Two of Swords, which is peace, making a decision. I think the reason the warning is coming out is because it's telling you you need to read your instincts. You need to understand. But the other thing, the biggest thing I'm getting from the warning is saying, Gemini, you know, if this person is good for you, they're good for you. If they're not good for you, they're not good for you. Like I said in the very beginning, I feel like there's an answer here that you already have with this Queen of Swords. Like, you don't need to continuously tell somebody, you did this wrong, you did that wrong, if they want to change, if they want betterment, then they will. The biggest thing here is you can have either one, new or old. If the old doesn't feel good, then don't go with the old. If something new feels good, then go with something new. And if you don't want anything at all right now, then don't. Then don't have anything at all right now, and find what it is you want. But I think the warning here too, for some reason, they're telling me, like, this may be exactly what you need or want. And yet you're feeling this anxiety because immediately there's a warning signal going off in your head that, oh, I can't go back there. There's no way we could ever make this happen. But with these cards right here and Six of Cups coming up and the romance, I don't know how you could deny it. Okay, Ace, you are amazing. Never forget it. Oh, Gemini, you guys are amazing. Never forget it. I'm excited for you. And I'm hoping that some of you can get to this point. And if not, then there's nothing but new, baby. Like, literally, then there's nothing but new for you. All right, Gemini, I'll see you soon. Bye.